ABC 15 Breaking News.
Big news tonight out of the Arizona Department of Corrections. The director, Charles Ryan, is retiring.
We brought you this first this afternoon right here on ABC 15. This all comes after ABC 15 investigator Dave Biskobing exposed a huge security problem back in April. Cell doors at the Lewis prison in Buckeye not locking, inmates able to get out of their prison cells, attacking other inmates and officers. One inmate even died. Inmates also caught setting fires in the prison. Dave asked Director Ryan face to face about the problem.
Officers have been ambushed, people have been badly hurt, an inmate has been killed. Why hasn't that been prioritized?
We are prioritizing it in 2 of the pods, and we have repinned the doors, and we have redirected staff to secure inmates who have managed to tamper with the locks, and they have been placed in pods that are, if you will, tamper-proof. And that has slowed down or greatly prevented the tampering and removal of the pins.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I am.
Governor Doug Ducey found out about the broken locks by watching ABC 15. He did order an investigation, but that he did not push to fire Ryan. ABC 15 investigator Melissa Blasius now picks up the story, talking to political leaders and prison reform advocates. Melissa, what are they saying?
Katie, here's what we're hearing, that this was not an issue of one prison pod with a problem. This was several prisons across the state that had busted locks over many years. So Director Charles Ryan did not make one error. There was a pattern of failure, and it's hard to rebuild trust after that.
Right after those first reports, the videos of the beatings, inmates who could come and go from their cells at will, Democratic state legislators called for Director Charles Ryan to be fired. But they also wanted him to answer for what happened, calling him before a legislative committee.
Why he didn't come to them and say, we need more money now. We had already appropriated money. He could have told us, I used it for, this project and I couldn't get the locks fixed. So I think there was a fatal error there in that he didn't tell us what was going on.
Governor Ducey did not oust Ryan right away, instead commissioning an independent investigation about this major safety failure. Ryan announced his retirement before the results could be made public.
It comes only a few weeks prior to the due date.
Ryan's 10 years as director of ADC has been punctuated by other scandals and tragedies, inmates setting fires, to riots, to hostage situations, to a prison escape that led to murder. Ryan has even been held in contempt of court for failures to provide adequate inmate health care. But even critics say it hasn't been all bad.
We've had a productive relationship in terms of listening and responding.
Ryan also worked with the governor to try new programs to reduce recidivism. The director submitted this letter announcing his retirement to the governor today. He also emailed his staff saying ADC's mission is continuous and the risk our employees willingly take on every day is unparalleled in the criminal justice system. Inmate advocates now look to the future.
This is a moment for us to come together as a state, all the stakeholders, all the people who are impacted by this, to make a decision that's in the best interests of all the people.
And Director Ryan admitting that it is time for him to seek new opportunities. His last day is September 13th. A successor has not yet been named. Faye?
Melissa, thanks. Joining me now is Carlos Garcia, the Executive Director of the Arizona Correctional Peace Officers Association. Thank you so much for being here. So let's start with this. What is the reaction inside Lewis Prison tonight, both from the officers and also from the inmates?
Let me tell you, I don't want to put it in the same capacity, but it was like when the Berlin Wall went down and people were anticipating and the celebrations. We're celebrating and well-to-do. It's our time to celebrate. This has been horrible. From the inmates, we're hearing the same thing. I mean, they've been on the receiving end of this roller coaster as well. We have administrators in the upper tier, like deputy wardens, even they're rejoicing. Yes, it's a fact.
Why do you think Director Ryan made that announcement today?
We saw it coming. A week from now, the 2 judges who are doing a report for Mr. Ducey, they were going to reveal their findings. We've been all up to this. Has been a long time coming. It's been on the news. You can't hide it anymore. This was inevitable for him to retire. This is a good time for him to, quote, retire. You can call it what you want, but his time has come.
Since he is officially retiring, is there anything preventing Director Ryan from taking his pension or any other taxpayer-funded retirement dollars?
Not that we're concerned about, but absolutely not. He's been with us a long time. I mean, when you have this is not personal. This is complete business. It's inappropriate what happened with him in the department. It's time to go, but his retirement is intact.
How long do you anticipate getting the problems there at Lewis Prison fixed? How long is that going to take?
It's like a crooked tree. This thing's been crooked for a long time. It's going to take a long time. We've got not just Lewis. We focused on Lewis because it was where everything started there, but all the prisons right now have their problems that we have to deal with, and we're trying to playing catch up now. It's going to take several years to get where we need to be.
Any insight into who may follow in that role?
We're not going to predict this because this is not easy. Anyone that is in his stead right now that works for him absolutely should not follow. This is like a tree that needs to be derooted and taken away. So we can't predict right now. We're not going to soothsay this. We have no idea who's coming, but whoever it is, they need to do the right thing and work for us.
Yeah, obviously you're advocating for cleaning house. Other people have as well. How deep do you think those cuts should go?
Anyone that worked directly for him, and that has to do with, I'm not going to mention no names, but anyone that's close to his counsel and that would take advice from him and would take direction from him, they knew what he was involved with. And it, you know, from warden on up, anyone that worked for him, they knew exactly where he's coming from. They shouldn't be there.
Yeah. Carlos Garcia, appreciate your insight. The Executive Director of the Arizona Correctional Peace Officers Association with us today. Stay with ABC 15 for the latest developments on Director Charles Ryan's retirement. Our Dave Biskobing will join us live in studio coming your way at 6:30. And you can get updates anytime on both our website and our ABC 15 mobile app.